Oh, what a beautiful morning. It's Friday morning, and that means it's time for the First Federal program on WROI Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Yes, indeed. It's time for the First Federal program. Can't really say that it's a beautiful morning, Todd, unless you're a big fan of rain.
Rain's good, though. Our grass needs it. The farmers need rain for the growing season. It is a beautiful day out there, even though it's a little rainy.
Yeah, I mean, rain is a good thing, but I see we're under a flash flood watch through tonight. They're calling for 4 inches, upwards of 4 inches of rain by Sunday. So I'm kind of concerned for some of the farmers. Their fields might get a little flooded, but hopefully it won't be too bad.
So everybody be careful out there, but it might be a good day for the raincoat or umbrella. And
grab an umbrella on your way out the door. You'll be fine.
Brought one for our guest today.
There we go.
Stephen Williams from the 4-H board is our guest today. We're going to be talking about the 4-H fair coming up in a couple of weeks. And I want to thank Jody Wynn today for her help behind the scenes. And good morning to everybody out there on the Facebook world. Thanks for joining us today. Like you said, it's a rainy weekend. It's a good weekend to stay inside, play a board game, work on that puzzle, clean out the garage, things like that, right?
All of which I need to do. So, yes, maybe I'll do those this weekend.
It's also a good time to catch a movie or something like that. Streaming.
That's always a fun thing to do.
So the official start of summer was last Sunday, June 20th, the summer solstice. Earlier this week was a perfect weather week. I guess we kind of pay our dues. Now we've got rain, right?
Yeah.
I want to welcome Stephen Williams, president of the 4-H board today.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We'll be talking to you in a few minutes more about the 4-H fair. Kind of exciting year. We're back to normal to some extent, and lots of events coming up, and you have a whole sheet of things to talk about. It looks like so.
We've got a pretty jam-packed week. So.
Yeah. So thanks for your work with the 4-H board, and we look forward to talking to you in a few minutes.
Great.
So 4th of July is next weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Somebody brought that to my attention yesterday, and it just doesn't seem like it should already be the 4th of July.
I know. Start of summer is last weekend, but then the 4th of July kind of marks the half point of summer in my mind, even though it doesn't really work out that way. But
especially because most of the kids go back to school the first couple weeks of August.
That is true. So we're going to be talking about the Akron 4th of July activities a little bit later. There's a lot going on there, too. In honor of the Fulton County 4-H Fair, we have 4-H trivia for you today.
Okay.
Yes? So, in their emblem, the 4-leaf clover, there's 4 H's. Which of these does not fit in there for a description? A, head, B, heart, C, hands, D, hustle, E, health. So you've been thinking about that.
Yeah. I know 2 of them, so
okay.
I got a 50-50 shot at this, I feel.
Maybe Stephen will throw you a little hint here or something like that.
Starts with an H.
Yeah.
Starts with an H.
There we go. That's a great clue.
Yeah. Sports world, Tanner's on assignment today, of course. So that's why you get Todd for sports today. If you're a sports fanatic, last night was almost overload. There was so much sports on TV last night that some of us stayed up too late, including myself. You had the NBA Finals on last night.
Yeah.
LA Clippers beat the Phoenix Suns. The NHL Finals were on last night. The Canadians beat the Golden Knights to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. I saw College World Series was on last night. I'm a big fan of the College World Series.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there was a rain delay, and it didn't start till 10:45.
Did you stay up for all of it?
I watched maybe an inning or so.
Okay.
Then also the Cubs and Dodgers were on last night, too. Then realizing the Cubs won, I didn't stay up for that at all. I maybe watched an inning of that, too. But the Cubs pitchers, 4 of them pitched a no-hitter against the Dodgers.
It's a great accomplishment.
7th one this year, as I heard on the news coming in, listening into the radio station.
Yep, Johnny is a huge sports fanatic, so anytime he gets to talk about sports, I'm surprised our sports cast isn't the longest portion of the day.
What I thought was interesting, it was the 7th one this year.
Yeah.
And that broke a record since 1900.
Yeah, the first 4 or 5 came pretty quickly, too, into the season.
We had the U.S. Open last weekend. John Rahm won that. Speaking of the World Series, they're down to 4 teams. So if I get this right, Vanderbilt, Texas, North Carolina State, and it'll come to me in a second. Other good news for Purdue fans, I saw that Trayvon Williams is coming back from the NBA, so that's good for Purdue. I mean, he's a beast inside there, and it's hard to defend. Speaking as an Indiana fan, of course. So that'll be a challenge this year. Also, there's some news from Notre Dame, Indiana, and Purdue. They each announced that their opportunity to have full capacity for their football games this year.
Awesome.
Well, we know that will happen at Notre Dame, but Indiana and Purdue full capacity, that might be a little stretch right now, but they'll try, though.
They'll try it, and that's what matters. They have the option to do it if they can. So, see, that's the good thing.
Mississippi State, that's the other team.
Hey, see, that's why I kind of rambled on for a second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tanner's Tidbits. Of course, we have to have Tanner's Tidbits. On this day in 1867, Lucien B. Smith patented the first barbed wire.
Ooh.
It's amazing how we take things for granted, but barbed wire has kind of been a staple, like a necessary need for 150 years now.
Yeah, they didn't like it when it came out.
Yeah.
There's still some people who don't like it. It stops them from doing certain things. So.
Like climbing a fence to
escape things or get into things.
Not that we've ever done that or anything.
No, never.
Also on this day in 1951 in New York, the first regularly commercial color TV transmission was presented on CBS using the FCC-approved CBS color system.
Ah.
Of course, nobody had color TVs to watch that, though, which is interesting. I don't think...
Right. No, it never seems to go that way.
Color TVs came out in mass until the early 60s, so...
Right, and some didn't even have them until, early 70s. So, interesting.
It's interesting. That's technology for you. They always introduce things first, and people can use them later. Also on this day in 1998, Windows 98 was released to the public.
Oh, how I remember Windows 98.
Kind of was a big deal. It was more towards the GUI interface from the DOS systems, and we'll be talking about Microsoft a little bit later in business news also.
Okay.
So, of course, Tanner always brings up what day it is.
Yes.
Take your dog to work day. And, of course, we didn't bring our dogs in today, right?
No, mine are too hyper to be in here.
Okay. It's Goat Cheese Day. This is a favorite this time of year. Strawberry Parfait day, because the strawberries are in season now, or just about in season.
Yep.
Of course, it's Color TV Day. So
makes sense.
Go home and watch your Color TV to celebrate that, because Color TV is a great thing, especially watching sports like I did last night.
My kids will be celebrating that day all day today.
Using their game devices or?
No, just sitting there watching it.
And it's Catfish Day.
Really?
Yeah. You a fan of catfish?
Not to eat. I have two in my tank though.
Okay, well, that's good.
Little ones, not the big ones.
Oh, I was gonna say big tank.
So upcoming events, 4th of July coming up next weekend. Akron has their annual festival, and a couple of the major events in there. On Saturday, July 3rd, they're having their Firecracker 5K event. Registration will be from 7 to 8. There's a 5K walk at 8, a 1-mile fun run at 8:15, and the 5K run at 8:30. And that'll be at the Akron Elementary School.
Okay.
So if you're interested in that, get out there for registration from 7 to 8. Then on Sunday, they have their parade at 2 p.m. And then on Sunday night, 4th of July, fireworks at 10 p.m.
Okay.
So lots of events to plan for next weekend, plus also there's always other things tied to the 4th. So if you're looking for something to do, check out your local sources, and you're probably going to find something to do some great family time.
Oh, yeah.
We want to, for flowers today, recognize Town Home Furnishings for being the Fulton County Chamber of Commerce Member of the Month. Congratulations to Town Home Furnishings.
Yeah.
In money news, good week for the Dow. Finished up 322 points yesterday at over 34,000. Basically, the uptick was based on the bipartisan infrastructure deal that had been approved in the Senate, or agreed to in the Senate, at least. So I was kind of tired of hearing about that. Just everybody get together and do the right thing, and it's like they did. So
agree to something.
Amazon's Prime Day was earlier this week, and interesting that numbers I saw from Adobe Analytics showed that online purchasing were 6.1% higher during the Prime Day than 2020. And then at over $11 billion. pretty amazing number.
Yeah, maybe some people put back some of that stimulus money to shop on Prime Day.
And they save some of it, hopefully, to shop local, too. We always
Correct.
encourage that.
Yes,
We're
go shop
not
local.
necessarily promoting Prime Day. We want to promote
No.
local for our communities.
Yes.
But it was in the news. Speaking of Microsoft earlier, yesterday was the anniversary of Windows 98. They also introduced Windows 11.
Yeah, I'm nervous about this.
I'm not sure what it's going to do. I mean, they're always introduce that, then recover, with patches and things
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
After it breaks your system. Hopefully
Yes.
it won't do that.
Very quickly normally.
It'll be a free update and should be out around Christmas.
Okay.
And with that news, Microsoft also went over the $2 trillion amount in market capital.
Wow.
That's trillion with a T.
Yeah.
So Apple's up there too with trillion. So
Right.
the technology companies are doing great. The stock price of Microsoft finished at over $266 yesterday. So
That's good.
they have lots of money to spend on development, it seems like
Yes.
that. So it seems like
Yes.
Windows 11 should be a sound, secure, stable system then, right?
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, there's still some bugs they're working out in 10, so hopefully they get them worked out before 11.
I've not really read much about Windows 11. Do you know anything about it? What it's going to do?
No, I heard the announcement yesterday. That was about the extent of my knowledge on 11 right now.
It's going to have something to do with better performance of smartphone apps, which I didn't really understand because Windows isn't really tied into smartphones very much.
Right. They used to be when Windows phones were a big thing, but Windows phones kind of faded out pretty quickly. So I'm interested to see what happens with it.
So are you excited for Windows 11, Stephen?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Send some sarcasm there.
Well, it's probably going to be thrusted upon everyone at some point in time. So.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to deal with it because every system's going to have to upgrade because
Yep.
it's almost like functional obsolescence. They plan for things, and so all the old applications kind of stop working. And
Yep.
allows you to buy some new applications to make them work better. So that's the money news for this week. First Federal Savings Bank. Again, we have had a good week this week. Still making lots of mortgage loans. Very interested in that. If you have a mortgage need, come out and see Ben Dalton or Stacy Wilson. We can do anything to refinance your home, help you construct a home, looking at moving, buying up, downsizing. We're happy to help you with that. We do have a summer special with our purchase special loans. So if you're buying a home, if you get a fixed rate loan that we can sell and we disclose it from now through the end of July, we'll give you a lender credit of $500 towards standard closing cost.
That's awesome.
That is. There's a lot of costs that are built in from
Yeah.
appraisals and things like that we have to do regulatory-wise. So getting the credit for $500 helps you kind of seal the deal of maybe getting that loan with us. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Also, we're open today from 8:30 to 5, tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. You can always bank with us online with our mobile app. It's free to download. Our ATMs are open 24/7 if you need cash. And you can always use our Money Pass network. So if you're not in Rochester or Winamac and you're out and about somewhere else this weekend, look for a Money Pass ATM and you can get cash from that without a surcharge, which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you guys go above banker hours,
Yes, we do, actually.
opening just a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Which we try to do that. Thank you for bringing that up, Stephen.
Just happened to notice that.
Yeah, I don't think
I'll
people
buy you
think a
lunch
lot of
later
that
today,
anymore.
maybe, you know?
It was worth getting up.
Yeah. Excuse me. We also offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business accounts, checking accounts. So with a checking account, you get a gift now. You get a wall charger. It's kind of
Yeah.
a handy-dandy thing where you plug into the wall and you get USB ports on it and charge your mobile devices. So
Yep, I was looking at those the other day. Text Tanner and said, "How long are these things open or available? Because I'm going to try to find somebody to open an account so that I can get that referral. Because those things are nice."
yeah, they are. We can maybe work that out. Just
Yeah,
You bring a good point.
Yes.
Thank you, Jody. It's 5 more weeks that you have that availability. So you can refer a friend. If you're not going to open an account, we also appreciate your word of mouth and supporting the bank. And sometimes that's the best way for us to get new customers is, share your experience with a friend. And we ask you to do that.
Yep.
And you can get a wall charger and they can get a wall charger.
yeah. So if you need a new account, Stephen, go to First Fed. Tell them I sent you.
Paul said.
That's good. Yeah. Well, we can help you out with that. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the best bank, just the bit. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Let me start that over. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best.
Okay.
You could have corrected me on that, Moose. 'Cause
Well,
you know that very well.
you caught yourself, so I didn't have to.
Okay.
So I was prepared.
Thank you. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender, and our NMLS number is 399927.
And you got the right number of nines, and we're now legal.
So I don't have to. Thank you for helping me out with a number of nines.
Hey, no problem. I counted them as you said them. That way I knew. So.
Okay, good.
So if anybody sees my hands moving on Facebook, that's why.
Yeah. Well, we welcome Stephen Williams from the Fulton County 4-H Fair Board President.
Well, good morning, and good morning to everybody on Facebook world and out there in Radio Land. So,
Thanks for joining us. Why don't you give us a
Definitely.
little bit about your background and your involvement in the 4-H Fair Board?
Like most 4-H involved folks, my 4-H life, I guess you could say, began back when I was a wee young one. Started off in 4-H in elementary school and had 10 years in. Then went to school. I went to college at Vincent's and graduated from there. Came back, and my dad was the fair board president at the time, and so I started getting involved in the project side of the physical property and the maintenance
Organization,
side.
administration.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yep. So amazingly or not, there's always something that needs attention out there.
Well, I'm sure there is. It's a nice property, and there's lots of buildings
It
out
is.
there, and there's maintenance needs, and there's new opportunities to get new and improved. And
Yep.
thank you for the work you and the Fair Board.
Yeah, definitely,
Do for-
definitely. We enjoy it, even though maybe during Fair Week you see us and we're grumbling about some of the problems that's going on, but we always get through it, and everybody by the end just has a good time at the fair. So that's what we encourage, and that's what we want to see.
And I know you rely on lots of volunteers, so
For sure.
if you're out at the fair starts on.
The fair actually, the fair actually starts taking animals in on Saturday the 11th or
Okay.
10th, and then on that evening, we actually, I guess you could say, start the fair off with the Queen contest. So that's going to be at 4:00 at the high school.
Okay.
So I know our chair over the Queen pageant, Erica, has said that we've got a great group of contestants for the Queen contest, and then this year they also added a Junior Miss contest.
Okay.
So we've got the Queen contest, the Junior Miss, and then of course the Little Miss contest. And she said there is an extremely large amount of contestants.
Well, that's
with
great
all of
news
those
because
So,
we're, post-COVID a little bit now,
Yep.
and so some things will look a little bit different for the fair this
Yep.
year. We're going back to more normal, right?
Yep, freedom.
I know we were talking before the show started that last year, we couldn't go through the exhibit halls. That's one thing that's going to open up this year. Is
Yes.
that
Yep.
all the citizens of the community can check out some of the work of the younger 4-H members and
Yep.
all the exhibits that they work on. And I'd encourage everybody to go out and visit the exhibit halls and
Yeah, definitely.
the livestock barns. And
There are so many projects. I don't have an answer for the number. That would be an extension office question. But there are so many projects that 4-H has for kids to do, whether you're already involved in the 4-H program or whether you're sitting at home twiddling your thumbs. Kids could learn just a plethora of stuff.
And you necessarily don't need to have a farm background to be
Nope.
involved in 4-H. I
No,
mean,
you don't.
There's all
Nope.
kinds of non-agricultural, non-farm related projects they can work on.
Yep.
And
Yep.
would encourage, if anybody's interested, if they go out and see those in a couple of weeks at the fair, that ask for some help out there, and they can tell you how to get involved.
Yeah, definitely. 4-H, they're based upon youth education, Get out there, set yourself a goal. We're going to give you some of the resources to help you figure out how to do it. And of course, parents or grandparents or friends are always there to help, but it's always great to see kids that have set goals, even if they don't get that, blue ribbon or purple ribbon. There's some of those kids out there that are so thrilled that they got it accomplished, and they just enjoy their time. And that's what kids should do, just enjoy their time.
I know from my own experiences, some friends and family that have been involved with 4-H, that once you're involved with 4-H, it's almost like a life event. So,
yes, it is.
so there's always a new project every year. Do you remember some of your favorite projects from your youth that you worked on?
So one of them, of course, I was in the electric program, and a big shout out to REMC. They definitely jump in and help out with the electric program. And of course, that's something that's necessary. It's always good to have a little bit of background, even as you grow older.
Everybody needs those skills because they're going to
everybody needs it.
Maybe own a house someday, and they're going to
Yep.
figure out why the lights aren't working or they are working, and
Yep.
little
Yep.
knowledge helps from that.
Yeah, it does. And then another project that I got into, and a lot of it was, I guess you could say, friendly competition, because several of my friends were in the farm scene project. And
Okay.
so you create an actual farm scene with farm toys and lay it out, as however you'd like. There were some of them that were very deeply involved. One of them made a water lagoon and had actual fresh alfalfa they crumbled and set in there. And of course, you had to make a protectant, so nobody would mess with your scene.
I know I've seen those in the exhibit halls before.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yep. They're pretty sizable.
18 by 24 or bigger, and
Yeah.
I mean, life on a farm. That's what it represents.
Yep, it is. And one of them even had working electricity inside the house.
Okay,
So
the lights
it's,
are on.
it's pretty neat. Yep.
And I noticed with those too that they stay equipment loyal to that too. So
They do.
So if you're a John Deere family or a New Holland family,
Yep.
you'll see the colors out there.
Yep, you can definitely tell which one Dad and Grandpa run.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's great. Approximately how many youth are involved in 4-H in Fulton County?
So I am going to kind of do a guesstimate that in Fulton County, we probably have around 400 kids.
That's an amazing number.
It is.
Considering the size of our county.
Yep, it is. It is. And, I'm sure you have an idea, or I'm sure you can see that the rural population of actual farm families has, gotten a lot smaller than back when 4-H actually began. But there's still that draw to be involved in the agricultural industry, and it's great to see everybody get involved.
Yeah, to help get prepared today, I did a little research on 4-H just to make sure that, because grew up in the city, so
Yeah.
Started in about 1900 in Indiana, in Noblesville actually,
Yep.
for the Indiana presence of it, and that's a lot of people involved, 400 people involved, and
Yep.
there's numerous adult volunteers that get involved. Like with the fair board, you have a great fair board that works really hard, and
Yep.
so if you're out at the fair, pat one of them on the back, because it's not just a 1 week thing that they're working out there. It's
No, we had 2 work days this week, just working on some of the buildings, and then Wednesday we went and trimmed the tree line going back to the horse and pony facilities. And we've already planned projects for next week, and so we're going to kind of cut them into small increments so we can get them accomplished early and not have to do it right before it starts. So
are there any new improvements out at the fair, at the 4-H fairgrounds this year? Or?
Not really, as far as like facility upgrades or anything like that. We've of course got the community building and the Everett Smith building, and our commercial building is going to be open again this year. So that's going to be great. I know Gail, who is over the commercial vendors, they've got a good sizable amount of vendors coming in this year. So we're excited for that, because that gives an opportunity for small businesses or churches and other groups in this community to come out to the fair, and you're always going to see somebody there.
Yeah.
So it turns into a pretty big social event.
There's something for everyone at
There
the
is.
4-H fair and the fairgrounds. I mean,
Yep.
the commercial, the livestock, the youth exhibits. I would encourage everybody to go out and
Yeah, definitely.
And we arranged to rain this weekend, so it rains this weekend, so it won't rain during Fair Week, right?
And that would
right,
be
Luz?
okay.
It's the hope.
Yeah.
If it's mild temperatures in that mid 80s, that'd be perfect. We've had fairs where it's rain cats and dogs, and we've had fairs where it's over 100 degrees.
Yeah,
And
that's really tough for the animals and livestock and the presenters. And
Yep.
I know everybody takes safety precautions, but
Yep.
and we'll do that if necessary. But let's hope we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about some of the particular activities that are going on? We mentioned
Sure.
the Queen contest and the other events to kick off the fair.
Yep.
What are some other events
Yep.
during the week?
So on Sunday, we have at 4 o'clock, we've got the at 5 o'clock, we have the Vesper service. It's going to be in the Judd Hutkins Show Arena, and it's open to everyone. We ask several local churches to bring some singing talent or musicians, and they play some specials and intermix that with some contemporary or hymns, and then have a message there from a local pastor. And so it's a good time for faith involvement at the fair.
That's great because that's important too, and that's what a
Yep.
lot of the 4-H founding principles are based on.
Yep,
and
it is.
It's a good way to kick off the activities for the rest of the week. What are
Yep.
some of the other
It
activities
sets
going
the
on?
goal. So then in the afternoon, after the Vesper service, there's going to be the 4-H awards. I believe that starts at 7 o'clock. And that's just a way of congratulating all the kids on their projects as they've, outside of the animal projects, but on their community building projects, on their accomplishments and how that's went.
So that's when they learn what kind of ribbon they may get if
Yes.
they get a ribbon.
Yep, because they actually do the judging before the fair
Okay.
on those community building projects. So they're going to bring them in. I believe it's going to start probably towards the middle of next week.
Okay.
They start bringing their projects in, show them to the judge on whatever specific project they've got. And we've got, like you say, and I'll say it continuously, we've got some great volunteers that help the kids as they bring them in. And then we've got great volunteers that are judges. We even get judges from outside the county. They come and they go over the projects with the kids, and they're definitely willing to, if they see something that the kid could improve on, or if they've done an excellent job as is, they're right there and willing to help that young person.
That's
grow
great.
their
We want to give a
education.
big thank you to the volunteers because with 400 youth involved, there's lots of opportunity for volunteers. So
Yes,
if
there
you're
is.
thinking about something that you want to try to help out with, find a 4-H board member and they can kind of point you in the right direction.
Yep. Or open your phone book. Google. Google Bing, the Fulton County Extension Office.
Okay.
And you can give them a call or stop in. They're actually located there on the fairgrounds.
Right.
And they will.
Get you hooked
I
up.
know they'll gladly take your volunteership.
Is there
So-
like a website or a Facebook page that people can go to see a schedule of fair events?
So the Fair Board does have a Facebook page. I believe Fulton County 4-H has a Facebook page. They're going to be more in line with, the animal shows,
Okay.
some of the other activities on the 4-H side that's going to be going on. That'll get updated. And then on the Fair Board side, we're going to have a lot of our events. They were already talking about making events for the activities going on. So you should be able to get most of your information there.
Great. So we're somewhat almost back to normal for the 4-H
Yes.
fair. So
Yep.
we'd encourage everyone to go out, and if you're not sure what's going on a certain day, just go out one of the days and you will find a myriad of activities going on.
Yeah, and we're going to have advertising here on WROI.
That's great. Thank
The
you.
shopping guide, the Sentinel. There should be flyers going out with all of our activities. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on, and food.
Food, yes.
Food.
Definitely
Lots of
fair
concession-
food this
concession
year.
Fair food. That's one of the favorites too.
Yep, yep. Of course it is, and we've got some groups, of course, that are going to be, the faith outreach mission team. They run our parking lot system,
Okay.
so we've got some family farms and other organizations who are going to be taking food drive donations in exchange for your free parking.
Oh, that's great.
Because they pay for your parking when you make that donation.
Well, that's awesome.
So
Awesome.
those will be noted on the days that's going to be covered, and we definitely want to appreciate them.
So there's really no reason to avoid the fair because you can bring a food good for a donation
Yep.
and free parking, and
Yep.
Yeah.
you can have dinner out there probably too with the concessions.
Yep,
Go
definitely
see all
can.
the exhibits.
Yep. And on the nights that we do charge parking, a portion of that money goes to the mission fund for faith outreach.
Well, thank you, Stephen. We've been talking with Stephen Williams, the 4-H Fair Board president. Thank you for all you do for the community and all that the fair does to help out our community.
Yep.
Why don't you
you're
hit the
welcome.
dates again as we close
So
here?
we're going to be starting on the 10th is going to be the Queen Contest, and then we're going to go all the way to the 17th, which is the following Saturday. We're going to end it with the annual Demo Derby. So it's going to be a
That's kind of
smashing
tradition,
time.
right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is.
Well, thank you, Stephen.
Hey, thanks
Good luck
for having
to
me.
everybody that's involved in the fair this year, and hope we have great weather. And
It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
Moose will arrange that, right?
Do my best.
So trivia, Moose.
Yeah.
The 4-H emblem, the four-leaf clover. Which one of these doesn't belong there? Head, heart, hands, hustle, health. It's kind of a trick question, actually.
I'm gonna go hustle.
That is correct. But originally, when they went from 3-leaf clover to 4-leaf clover, hustle was the word in there, and it was replaced with health earlier in the 1900s. That's from my research that I did. So did you learn something new, Steve?
I did.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Steve didn't know that either, so hey, I feel good.
But you got it right, though.
Yes, I know.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Tanner's gonna have to try really hard next week.
Thank you for everyone for listening to the show today. We appreciate your support of the bank and the 4-H Fair, and best of luck to everybody in the 4-H Fair. And
Yes, definitely.
stay dry this weekend. Have a great week. Our closing words of wisdom, I've taken it from the 4-H motto.
Okay.
And the motto, I did not bring that page with me. Okay. Do you recall the 4-H motto?
Yep. I give my hands to better service, my health to better living. Nope, that's not exactly
Okay.
correct.
Well, our words of wisdom, sorry to make up on that. We were talking earlier that thank you for everything the 4-H Fair does. So,
Those are great words of wisdom,
yeah,
honestly.
we'll come back with those next week.
Yeah, we'll hit you up next week for those. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
With those words of wisdom, this has been the First Federal Program. Join us every Friday at 7:30 on WROI Giant FM.